When I was thinking about what to present for you all today, ultimately there's two things that happened that brought me to this presentation. One is in the past couple of years, and I'm not saying this to pound my chest or brag, but rather help you guys understand where this is coming from. A lot of my closest friends and family have asked me, like, dude, how in the world have you guys done what you've done? And it seems like you're just getting started. And as I get asked these questions, it makes you really go internally and think, okay, well, what was it? Yes, we have a great model. Yes, we have great people. Yes, we have all these things. But what really is helping us win in a hockey stick to the degree that we are, and what's continuing to bring us more opportunities? And ultimately, what I realized is that I think there's two types of entrepreneurs. There's two types of realtors. There's two types of business owners. One of them focuses on pressure, growing their business leveraging pressure, and the other grows their business leveraging power. And what I want to share with you today is the benefits of focusing on growing with power as opposed to growing with pressure. Does that make sense? And if it doesn't, my goal is to help it make more sense for you. So when I talk about pressure, what am I talking about? I believe that 95% of agents, entrepreneurs, business owners focus on growth through pressure. They're always pushing, they're always pulling, they're always working and trying to force opportunity. So what does pressure look like? Door knocking. Although I believe you can grow your business with door knocking to me is a pressure-forward way to grow your business. Buying leads. Do leads work? Yeah. But that is pressure. It's pressure on the wallet. It's pressure on your time. And let's be honest, do you think that anybody wants to get a phone call from a realtor or any salesperson? For the most part, no. That's the definition of pressure. Prospecting, pressure, working all parts of the transaction because you think that you can do it better than someone else. That to me is one of the biggest mistakes I see specifically in real estate, but as entrepreneurs, is we convince ourselves that we need to do it all ourselves because we're better than anybody else. I can do it. The reality is you might be right. Maybe you are better than everybody else you could bring on. But could you find someone that's 70% as good as you? You damn well can. And if they focus on the 70% and lets you pour your 30% of your superpower onto the rest of the business, now you're creating power. Large teams with low per person productivity. There's some of you in the room that have that. That to me is a pressure forward business. Having 5, 6, 10 people on your team feels good, sounds good, but if they're not producing 20, 30 deals a year each, that's a pressure forward business. It's not easy managing people. In addition, tactics versus strategy. If I want to make more money, tactics tell me I need to generate more leads. I need to talk to more people. I need to, everything that's tactical. Strategy says, how can I get more from what I already have? And if I want to make more money, does it always have to be inside of the real estate sales commission? No. So I want you all to start thinking about strategy versus tactics. And I'm going to do my best to share some strategies with you guys today. Does that make sense? Are you all with me? Feels like you guys need some coffee. All right. So this is the deal. Pressure is painful for both sides. Yet it works, but it sucks. Growing your business with pressure sucks. It works. Excuse me. For the first 10 years of my life in real estate, I was all pressure. And I did well. We won. Things were great. But the moment we stepped into the power, things that opened up in our world just didn't make sense. You know how they say, man, that person has the Midas touch, or that person's got the golden touch. I believe that when you step into your power, opportunities start to chase you as opposed to you chasing opportunity. And that's been a big aha for us in our businesses in the past few years. And it's the idea, it's this concept that if I focus on the strategies behind power, the business will come to me. Opportunities will come to me. More enjoyment in my business will come to me. So let's talk about some of the power tactics. Power is what creates scale. It elevates profitability. It creates new and more opportunities. It helps you with sanity in your business. You can make a shit ton of money, but if you hate the process, it might not be worth it if there's a better way. And I believe that it creates enjoyment. So to me and to us, our primary goal in everything that we do is creating opportunity and growth without hating the process. Have you ever met someone that's just super wealthy and it just seems like they're gliding through life? They always got that rich man smile or that rich woman smile or rich person smile. It's because they don't do shit they don't want to do. One of our business partners, Roland, the guy's way on the other side of success. And before we had the privilege of knowing him, I would see him at events and the guy's just always smiling and he's gliding through life. And me and Oliver will always say like, man, we need to figure out how to be that guy. And after getting to know him, what became completely obvious is one, he is a power player, not a pressure player. And number two, the man does not do anything he does not want to do. Yet he owns 100 different businesses. But he's not on the org chart of any one of those businesses. That is power. That is enjoyment. That is not how you get rich, how you become freaking wealthy. And I don't mean wealthy just financially. I mean wealthy spiritually, internally. The guy is happy, and it's obvious to everyone around him. And what that creates for him is more opportunities, like people like me, Oliver, and Corey, running up to him and trying to do business with him, running up to him and trying to give him opportunity. Because what he has is contagious because it's powerful, it's not pressure forward. Does that make sense? Yeah. So power brings you opportunity. Power creates additional revenue. Power helps you enjoy the process, and power is what the rich people do. You know, growing up, I used to look at rich people, and I used to say, oh, that's one of those people. Some of us said that in some dialogue, or, oh, that's one of those people. All of us can be one of those people when we step into power as opposed to leveraging pressure. You all with me? All right. Doesn't seem like it. So how do we focus on power instead of pressure? The ultimate goal is to build a business plan that creates power to have continual organic growth and opportunity. Opportunity for me, for people in this room, does not just mean more sales. Opportunity is, it's just such a broad word, and it means so many different things. So let's talk about some power moves. To me, this is one of the 3 most important power moves that all of us need to be talking about, focusing on. And if you've been to anywhere in a circle, you've seen me and Oliver beat this drum time and time and time and time again. Yet, when I look around the room, I probably see 2 or 3 people that are actually focusing on their personal brands. What does personal brand mean, and what does it create for you? You guys have probably heard me say this quote before. Gary Vaynerchuk is a power player, correct? And in a, what's that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes or yes?
Yes.
So on stage one time or in a video, he said, look, you have to understand the power of your personal brand and what it creates for you. He said, if you're really damn good at what you do, if you're the best damn realtor there is, you will always stay in the position of chasing, hunting, and going pressure forward and growing your business. But the moment you create a personal brand and you become a somebody, you become one of those people, the opportunity starts to chase you. Clients reach out to you. Opportunities reach out to you. All of a sudden, your personal brand becomes the biggest asset that you have in this world outside of your family and your health. And it's something that no one can take away with you unless you turn into an asshole and start doing stupid shit. Personal brand is the most valuable asset we can all have. Yet, I look around the room and 95, 98% of us aren't doing it. Why are we not doing it? Because of the bullshit stories we tell ourselves. Oh, I don't have enough personality to grow my personal brand. I don't know what to say or how to say it. All of this is self-limiting beliefs. Because the reality is, Wes might think, Wes is funny, Wes is fun, but Wes might have internal things. Well, people don't want to listen to me because of X, Y, or Z. But the reality is X, Y, or Z, whatever that is, 25% of people in the world are X, Y, Z. And if he just brings X, Y, Z to life, he owns those 25%. Poncho, very outgoing. You might look at him and say, this guy kills it online, and he does. But I promise you that he also turns off people, right? But you look at someone like Poncho and you say, well, he's got it. He's got the personality. He knows how to be funny. But half the people that see his shit don't like it. I guarantee it.
100%.
So what I'm saying to you is it's easy for us to look at someone that's contagiously energetic and has personality and looks like they feel comfortable on camera and say, well, you need that to create a personal brand. And that is the biggest mistake and lie you can tell yourself. I don't care if you're boring and half dead. 25% of people out there are attracted to boring and half dead. Own those people. Own those eyeballs. Own that attention. Because when you do, opportunity starts to come to you as opposed to you always creating opportunity. You all with me?
Yes, sir.
So how do we create a personal brand? Number one is content. Content. I have said this word in this room for the past 6 years about 17 million times. Yet there's 3 or 4 or 5 of you that are focusing on content. Why? We've given you the resources, like answerthepublic.com. We've given you the tools, which I'm sure Oliver will talk a lot about, on how to find content to create. And you don't need a huge media team to create your content. People like Mike Cuevas, half of you won't like what he does, half of you will. But the point is he teaches you how to create content with nothing but an iPhone. You don't need a whole squad like you see that we have. There's layers to this process, and you start by starting. And what you don't do is you don't allow yourself to stop because you're waiting for it to be perfect. If I go back and I look at the content that I put out 6 years ago, I look at it, I'm like, geez, I can't even watch it. And 6 years... So you guys remember how Allison used to work for Open Escrow? And 6 years from now, I'll look at this video and say, well, first thing I'm going to say is, Jesus, I put on the COVID 400-pound thing. I blame that on Tito's. But what I know I will for sure say is, man, that was busted. 6 years from today, I will be 600% better than I am today. And today, I'm 600% better than I was 6 years ago. But it's a continuous progress that, one, makes you feel more comfortable. And guess what? You stop paying attention to the shit that you don't like about yourself. For instance, when I first started, all I could pay attention to on my videos was my little tiny snaggletooth. I've told you guys this story. And 4 or 5 years later, I forget about it. And then I'm telling Corey, I'm like, I'm like, yeah, dude, I used to have a complex about this little snaggletooth I have. He's like, yeah, bro, that thing's fucking stupid. You gotta fix it. But all of us have our snaggletooth that we're keeping from keeping us doing what we're supposed to do. I'm telling you, if you want to be filthy freaking rich, you have to start building your personal brand. Podcasts. Every single one of you in here can have a podcast. And here's the deal. It's going to take a long-ass time till people give a damn. Until one day, everyone is going to give a damn. I was speaking in Atlanta a couple months ago, and you guys know hardcore closer Ryan Stewman? Yep. So he was speaking there, and he said, dude, I started my podcast 10 years ago. I came out of jail for drug charges and all these things. And I just started doing the podcast. And 8 or 9 years, no one paid attention. And then one day, everything flipped. Everyone started paying attention. Fast forward to today, the guy owns 100 restaurants. Never flies commercial anywhere. Kind of like Sean. He has so much opportunity flying at him, and for him, it was content in his personal brand. But you might look at him and you might say, well, he's one of those people. I remember when I first started going heavy in video, and I thought everything I did was horrible, we took the team out to a Padres game. And I'm probably about 1.5 years into making videos and putting them out. And this lady I've never met before walks up to me like I'm a celebrity. And she says, holy shit, you're Sam. You're like real estate famous. And to me, my videos, no one was watching. My videos sucked. I didn't get engagement. But that was the first time that I realized, holy shit, I'm onto something. To her, I'm the Gary V famous real estate guy. And if I can get one person to think that I'm that, then I can get 2, then I can get 10, then I can get 20,000. Right? Back in the day, to be Oprah Winfrey famous, you had to actually be everywhere. Today, you could be famous with 100,000 people and create so much opportunity, and 100,000 eyeballs is nothing in the big scheme of things. Does that make sense? Events and speaking. I'll tell you that for myself, Oliver, Corey, everything that we do, the fact that we put ourselves in an uncomfortable scenario and learned how to speak and started getting on the network and the circuit and going and putting on events and putting ourselves out there to speak at other people's events is a big, big factor of why we are where we are today. But I know what you're thinking. What do I have to talk about? You all have a story, and your story will capture the hearts of 25% of people, at least. And it starts by doing events in your local market. It starts by reaching out to people and asking if you could be on their podcast. It starts by reaching out to people that are putting on events and not saying, can I speak on your stage, saying, how can I help your event? When Oliver and I decided we want to get into speaking, we went to all the speakers that we would go to their seminars, and we said, hey, all we want to do is help you promo your event, and we don't want any money, we don't want anything. We just want to say thank you. And we started calling our friends, inviting, this is before social was even a big thing, and we started inviting our friends, and we would get them out, and next thing you know, guess who got invited to speak on the stage? And it just kept on going and going and going. And there's a really, really powerful guy by the name of Pete Vargas. I was trying to get him here, but he has another event going on. Pete Vargas teaches everybody how to build massive opportunity by putting on or speaking at other people's events. When I say everybody, I mean those of you that right now are thinking, I have nothing to speak about, just have to get out of your own way and understand that you do. And he helps get that out of you. He helps you get on stages and all that stuff. So if you care, Pete Vargas. Owning your own media. This, to me, is the future of marketing. Why? Does anybody in here run any sort of ads online? A few of us. Ad costs since COVID to today on average have gone up almost 400 to 600%, depending on the platform. Which ultimately just makes everything what? More expensive, harder to get attention. With the new iOS update, which I don't know if you know, but have you noticed that if you have an iPhone, when you download an app, it says, is it okay if this app tracks you? 99% of people said no, and are still saying no. So the way that you used to get targeted is now gone because of one simple update. So if you built your business off of leveraging someone else's media, i.e. Facebook, Instagram, with paid ads, you just got kicked right in the gut. Because what was working yesterday isn't working today. So owning your own media, and I'll give you an example of that, is as simple as having your own Facebook group for moms. It's as simple as having your own Facebook group for San Diego vets. It's as simple as having your own Facebook group that are self-managed landlords that are sharing their war stories. It doesn't matter what the group is, and a Facebook group is just one example. Owning your own media will always be yours and give you the opportunity to leverage. When I used to live in Little Italy, there was this realtor that would send this magazine, which is freaking genius, called Buy One, Get One. And all she did was she would go to local restaurants, dry cleaners, everything in the downtown area. She would put this magazine together that had buy one, get one free coupons for everything. And my wife and I would eat our way through Little Italy through that book, through that magazine. Because it was buy one, get one. And I mean, am I the only one that when we say we go to dinner, let's go to dinner, where do you want to go? I don't know, where do you want to go? I don't know, where do you want to go? And you just end up at the same place you went last time. But because of this magazine, we explored new places, and guess what? We were getting buy one, get one free. Do you think that that's media? You're damn right. And I bet you anything that magazine today is probably worth more than her real estate business. Your Facebook group, one day, if not yet today, is gonna be worth more than your real estate business. Your media will be worth more than your business is today, and it'll help grow your business through that process. Does that make sense, or did that go over your heads? Any questions on that? Haro, helpareporterout.com. Helpareporterout.com is a free service. You go, what Help a Reporter Out is reporters, journalists, that are looking for industry-specific knowledge. And you go on, you create an account, it's 100% free, and you pick the topics that you feel like you can write a couple sentences about. And during Oliver's presentation, he's going to show you a tool that would actually write your content for you. It is mind-blasting. So you go in there and you say, I can talk about real estate, I can talk about finance, I can talk about tech, I can talk about family, whatever it is. There's 50 different categories. Every day, Haro will email you journalist requests for these different industry topics that you said you would like to write content on. It's all free. You reach out to the journalist, you say, this is who I am, I can provide you this piece of content, would love the opportunity to be featured in your article that you're writing for Fox, or for CNN, or for MSN, or for wherever the hell it's going. And it costs you nothing. The only thing it costs you is the time to open the email and reply. And the time to write the content, which Oliver's gonna show you how to fix that, which is probably the coolest tool in the world right now. Any questions about Haro? Helpareporterout.com. Easiest way to start to build your brand with spending no money. Does that make sense? Yes. And then community. And there's a lot more, but I'll tell you, getting out in your community, be it through like working with the city on things, creating your own community outreach, or just going out and meeting with business owners, starting your own networking event for business owners, whatever it is, going out in your community and creating a community within your community will start to compound and grow on itself. Make sense? Yes. Number 2, people. My biggest power move right now is people. Here's the deal. As soon as I have something on my to-do list, the first thing I figure out is how I don't have to do it. It's true. And I could only do that because we have awesome people on the team. And honestly, Molly is an example of that. Corey is a perfect example of that. Before we had Corey, everything that Corey does today, I used to have to do, or Oliver used to have to do. But what's my point? I posted this online a couple months ago, so if you saw this post, you're about to hear it again. About right before COVID hit, I started hiring a driver to drive me around, because that time in the car, I could just focus on making money as opposed to driving. And you might be thinking, how much does that cost you? I think I was talking to you guys last night. You're like, well, how much does that cost you? I was like, how much do you think it cost me? Like about 50 grand a year. What I did is every time I'm in an Uber and I enjoy the person I'm talking to, I say, hey, are you willing to work for $20 an hour to drive me, sometimes for an hour or sometimes for the day and just be on call? And almost always they say yes. And if they drive me in their car, I pay them $30 an hour. If they drive me in my car, which I prefer, I pay them $20 an hour. And that's not my point. Well, that is kind of the point, is people. Hiring that person for $20 an hour. Now, let's say I drive 2 hours a day, which I don't. 30 days a month, which I don't. That is 60 hours a month at $20 an hour, which is $1,200. And now I'm never driving myself, and I've opened myself up for 60 hours. That's a whole nother week. Do you understand what I'm saying? People. But the story is, the guy's driving me, and he was impressed with my car, and he's just like, man, you're so young, what do you do? And I was like, well, my main business is this company, it's a brokerage, we have all these agents. And he's like, wow, that's cool, so you have a real estate license? I was like, nope. So you're a broker? I'm like, nope. He's like, wow, okay, cool. What else do you do? I was like, well, we develop apartments. He's like, wow, so you're a contractor? I'm like, nope. He's like, so you're an architect then? I'm like, nope. So you have family money and you can just put it all out there? Nope. This guy's like, what the hell's going on? And we keep going, and I'm telling you, we have this business, we have a software business. He's like, oh, so you're a coder, you know how to write code and create software? I'm like, nope, can barely even spell code. The word code. I'm like, nope. I was like, I'll tell you something that I just did recently I'm really excited about is I bought a basketball team. And he's like, oh, so you're super athletic and you know how to play ball. I'm like, hell no. Shut up, John. So there's good people and there's bad people. I'm just joking. My point is this. We have so many businesses and so much opportunity that my friends like Molly, when I got the team, she's like, at some point I have to ask you, when is it too much? And the answer is it's never too much. Because guess what I do on the basketball team? Nothing. My cousin invested in it, he's the general manager. My other friends, some of who are here, and I'm not gonna point them out, are investors, and they all do different parts of the business. All I have to do is recruit the talent, which is I'm really damn good at, and I enjoy. So we find someone we want, I get on the phone, I razzle dazzle, I send them a contract, they join the team. All I gotta do is show up to the games and have some fun, which hopefully will start next season, but because of COVID, that might not happen. But my point is, I've even heard rumblings inside of our company that, man, they're doing so much that they don't care about some of their other businesses. Bullshit. I'm just not gonna allow myself to be stuck behind the keyboard and the mouse and doing shit I don't wanna do. Instead, I'm gonna leverage people to help me get where I wanna get, and I'm gonna take care of them in the process. Perfect example of that is Sweet Assist. I really believe we're building a $100 million company at least with Sweet Assist. And I spend 2-3 hours a month on it. But we have Corey, we have DJ, we have all these different people that are in that, running it day to day, creating a massively powerful and profitable and eventually worth a lot of money business. And I don't spend time on it. I spend brain power, but I'm not pushing any buttons. I'm not running any ads. I'm not doing any demos. People. Anything you want to achieve in your life becomes easier when you have the right people in your corner that you take care of along the way, and they feel like they want you to win because they know that they're going to win. Does that make sense? Yep. People. Process or systems. And I'm going to give you some examples of this. Systems and processes run successful businesses, and smart people run processes and systems. I'm going to say that again. Processes and systems run successful businesses, and good or smart people run processes and systems. If you don't have process and system in your business, you really don't have a business, you have a job. Most people pay attention to the wins. That's why my family comes up and says, how the hell are you guys doing this? That's why my dad, when I see him almost every Friday, he tears up saying how proud he is. Because we're willing to swing the bat and freaking miss and pick the bat up and miss again because I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks about me. What I give a damn about is where I know I'm headed and what I need to do to get there. And if you don't like it, screw off. Because I'm willing to accept failure as part of the process. But so many of us are so worried about failing. You can't freaking win without a lot of failure. Oliver and I had about 17,000 businesses that failed before we started Big Block. And since we've started Big Block, we've had another 17,000 businesses fail. And you guys probably can't name any of them. Or if you can, 1 or 2 of them. And until I brought it up, you don't even think about it. Because people pay attention to the wins. They pay attention to the champion that has his hand or her hand in the air, winning the damn game, and they forget about all the punches that that person got in the process. If you can't fail, you can't win. Mick, you with me? I'm going to wrap this thing up soon. Come on in. Thinking past the first dollar. Thinking past the first dollar is a power move. What I mean by that is understand that every time commerce is created, anytime any commerce happens, someone else creates opportunity on the backside. So for example, in real estate, every time a home is bought or sold, do you know how many companies create revenue on the backside of the real estate commission? Anybody have a guess? It's almost 90 different businesses. So that means 2 things to us. One, if you think for a moment that you being a realtor is just about making money, you're broken. This room and the real estate community is the lifeline of our economy. Every time we sell a house, 90 people get paid outside of you and your team. Now let me ask you this. Why aren't you being their referral network, giving them their customers and getting paid a referral fee? You know why? Because you're not thinking past the first dollar. All you're doing is chasing the commission check. Remember I said we want to make more money. Doesn't mean we have to do more things. Doesn't mean we have to sell more houses, although you should, because the more houses you sell, the more opportunity it creates. And on the backside, I can call whoever, whatever, a gardener and say, hey, 20% of the people that I sell a house to, I'm hiring a gardener. Would you like me to introduce you to people I sell a house to and you pay me a finder's fee of whatever it is? Do you think that we love Bobby? We love all of our sponsors. Do you think that their banners are in here because we're just nice people? We're nice people. But we get paid because we think past the first dollar. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. Think past the first dollar. And don't allow yourself to think that people won't pay you for your attention. You have someone's customer before they do. and someone has your customer before you do. And that's the evolution of commerce. So start thinking past the first dollar, start creating revenue, and then that in turn helps you create more opportunity, like owning businesses or getting shares. We have businesses reach out to us all the time and say, hey, can we just give you equity in the company so you can help promo us? And they pay us along the process. We get vesting in the company. One of that company sells for whatever it is, and we get paid. But we're thinking past the first dollar. Power move. Does that make sense? Network and environment. I'm a big believer that massive success starts and ends with your network and the environment you put yourself in. Oliver and I spend probably $150,000 a year going to really high-level masterminds, which in turn helps us connect to people like Roland, which in turn helps us have a new business with one of the wealthiest and smartest people that we know. Right now, our network is so strong because we're willing to step out of the business, we're willing to spend money to buy friends. I'll say that again. We spend money to buy friends. Growing up, you're told, you make friends with people that like you and you like them. Bullshit. I want to make friends with people that can change my life. And oftentimes, I have to pay my way into that relationship. But most of us won't do it because I can't step away from my business. I can't afford the money. Remember this. When you pay for the best, you only cry once. I'm going to say that again. When you pay for the best, you only cry once. Because you write that big-ass check to join that mastermind group and you cry. But then when you go to the mastermind group and you meet people, I mean, we're in rooms sitting next to Jay Abraham. We're in rooms sitting next to Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank. We're in rooms with some of the most successful, influential people in the world that if we didn't write the check, we would have never had an opportunity to know. And now they're our homies, they're our friends, they're our girlfriends, they're almost our family. But we paid for those relationships. And I'm proud of that. So understand that if you want to go somewhere quicker, you want to go somewhere with less friction, you do it by having the right people, not staff people, network people. I really do believe that Oliver and I are 1 to 2 phone calls away from anybody in the world because of that network. If I want to get on the phone with Mark Cuban, I can call Roland right now and he can get me connected to Mark Cuban. But if I didn't pay the money and show up and make Roland love us by getting my ego out of the way and being the man that I know he wants people to be in his world, we wouldn't have that relationship. And I use Roland only because a lot of you know him. There's a lot of these people in our world that we paid to become their friends. And now that we're their friends and we've deposited social currency into their world, it is now acceptable for me to call and ask for a favor. Does that make sense? And that's why we do this. Because this networking, this mastermind, is what helped us get to the place where we can even do this. We went to the masterminds before we had money. Earlier Tyler asked me, he was like, dude, how did you learn how to speak? And when did you start? I said, I was 24 years old, I had no money. And we paid someone $10,000 a day to coach us on how to be a good speaker. All on credit card. And it worked. And now that person is one of the most world-renowned speakers, speaker trainers, and anything I want, I can connect to him. And guess what he just started doing? He started helping people sell franchises in a massive scale. When we met him, that wasn't what he did. Today, he's about to get a call from you-know-who saying you-know-what. You with me? Network and environment changes the game. First mover adoption. Man, I'm going long. I'm going to try to wrap this thing up. First mover adoption is this. Remember earlier I said Facebook ads now suck because the ads have gotten expensive? There's going to be a new platform. There's going to be a new widget. There's going to be a new tool. And people that move onto those first are the ones that have less friction and less noise and end up winning quicker. Like a few years ago, I hated TikTok. And I never got on it. And I regret the hell out of it. Because now people are printing mints because of their stupid TikToks. Not talking to you. But my point is that's only available not because they're awesome at what they do. It's because they were the first to adapt onto that platform. And I just don't mean social media. Like the tool, one of the tools I'm going to share with you today, it's called Jarvis, and I'll let him explain what it is. I guarantee you that in 3 years or 2 years, the power that it has right now is going to blow your freaking mind. Your jaw will be on the floor. In 2 years, it won't mean shit. Because it'll get assholes like me and Oliver are going to go on stages and we're going to say, dude, you got to learn about Jarvis. And then everyone starts using Jarvis, and now Jarvis isn't worth a shit. Because everyone starts using it. But first people to adopt are the ones that get to leverage all these different things. Make sense? Manipulation. It's funny because manipulation is generally a bad thing. But I'm talking about positive manipulation. I'll give you an example. Corey runs a lot of the things that we do. Corey can go a lot of different places and get paid probably 50, 60% more, maybe 100% more, maybe 300% more than we pay him. But it's the little things, and I would say this if he was in the room, because I've said it to him, that we do to manipulate him to feel like he can't leave us. Such as our holiday party, 1,000 people in the room, in front of everyone, I say, Corey will go down in the history of Big Block as one of the best decisions we ever made. Do you think that the 1,000 people in the room at that holiday party gave a damn about that? No, but he did. And I bet you he went home and he told his wife. And I bet you he went home and he called his dad and his mom. And I meant it. I'm not saying manipulate with lies. I'm saying I didn't need to say that on the stage. But my point is like, don't get beat up that you missed that platform opportunity because there's another one coming. This guy printed a mint because of Zillow offers. Yeah, you, number one. And as you heard, they shut that down. He doesn't know that I know that he got something to replace that, but I already know that. And I bet you for 2-3 weeks he was living in hell because he lost that contract. But when you put good shit out, good shit comes. When one bus leaves, another one's around the corner. So just last couple quotes. Only trust yourself because nobody else is as crazy as you. I'm serious. If we listened to everybody that told us we couldn't do what we were doing in Big Block with this new business model, none of you would be in the room. I'm not saying don't seek counsel, but only trust yourself because you're the one that's crazy enough to believe whatever you're trying to achieve. Does that make sense? When you combine ignorance and leverage, you get some pretty interesting results. Warren Buffett. Remember earlier I said, I don't care about failing? Be the freaking idiot that's willing to try new shit. Be the ignorant person that's willing to leverage things and see what happens. Because you'll get some pretty interesting results. Does that make sense? And going broke is the process of becoming wealthy. Going broke is the process of becoming wealthy. What I mean by that is as agents, we start and we're broke, and then we make some money, and we get stuck because finally we have money and now we don't want to let go of it. So we can't scale our business because we're not willing to separate ourselves from the money that we have. And the fact that we're not willing to go broke or go backwards will always keep us stuck where we're at. You have to go broke in order to become rich. And it's never going to stop. You have to get comfortable with that. And it's funny because I wrote this a couple days ago. This morning, I'm in bed and I'm watching a video on Instagram, and Grant Cardone, who's now worth almost $2 billion because of pretty much all the power moves we talked about. In the interview, he says, twice a year, I get rid of all of my disposable cash. And I invest it, go back to work and create it, and then I create it, and I get rid of it. And I get rid of it, and I go back and create it, and then I get rid of it. And I don't mean get rid of it like, yes, he has jets and Rolls Royces. What he's doing is he's investing that in his future. He's buying apartment buildings. He's doing all these things, starting new businesses. He's going broke in order to become a billionaire. And some of us won't spend $2,000 to make an extra 20. It's mind-boggling. So, you gotta go broke in order to become wealthy. Thank you for joining. Hope you liked that presentation.